Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to do our Walking Dead Season 4 episode review, episode 13, Alone. Okay guys, welcome back. So, very good episode. I was very happy with this. Nice opening. I love the fact that we got to see a little bit of Bobby now. Got to see a little bit of his backstory, and we got to actually see how Daryl found him. You know, we remember hearing about that in the first half of actually the very early first half of the season. Might have even been the first episode, probably shortly thereafter, but it was nice to see that scene play out. You can see that Bobby drinking the medicine, trying to get any kind of alcohol he could. And for a long time, he's been the one mysterious character amongst all fans. Before the season even started, people speculated that he was undercover for the governor. He isn't. A lot of people thought he was involved with the feeding of the rats, and there's some people who still might believe that, but everybody seems to be leaning towards Lizzie for that. We saw that he did make some dire mistakes in the season. Trying to get the bottle of booze, putting it on the shelf, causing Zach's death. Later on, when they went on a supply run, and you thought he packed supplies and medicine, and he packs booze. So whether or not those issues are still present, maybe later on, if they ever get to a point where they can settle down, those demons might resurface. But for right now, as far as we've seen in the second half, and we haven't seen a lot of him, Sasha or Maggie, he seems pretty focused. He even seems somewhat happy, and we learn in this episode that he's happy because he's not alone. And you know what? Look, in this world, I can't really blame him. When you take the circumstances of the world surrounding you, and having to traverse the land by yourself amongst either zombies trying to kill you or even other people trying to kill you, it's got to be a good feeling to be with somebody. Now, Sasha was a very compelling thing for me, at least for me personally, because traditionally I do not like the character. But I think I grew to like her a little bit more in this episode because I finally saw a side of her that she's probably, character-wise, has been hiding. Because, you know, she always seems like tough, a little bit arrogant at times, somewhat annoying, and you see her very vulnerable. And that seems to be when we gravitate towards the characters the most, is when they're vulnerable, when we see a side of them that they're actually scared. And yes, they've always been scared, but, you know, once they learned how to fight, once they learned how to deal with walkers, once they had walls to protect themselves, it's a lot easier to be confident. Where now, where you're out there, it's been a while since you've been out there, and you have to deal with the thought of your brother, in her case, being killed or dead, the thought of yourself being alone and not wanting to be alone, losing hope, you know, and her being very reluctant to want to go to the sanctuary because, let's face it, the prison's gone. You know, she said it herself, it's too good to be true. And you can understand why she would feel that based on some of her prior experiences with the prison, eventually going down, with her stay at Woodbury. Her and Tyrese were on the road for a long time before they ran into Rick the first time when he was a little loco. And then eventually went to Woodbury, and that was a very short stay. So, and Maggie is very determined. She is leveraging her love for Glenn to continue to move forward. And I think, even though many people may not get that impression, many people may not get this impression, and it may not even be made to look that way, but I think her using Glenn as a leverage to continue going, it's more than just about Glenn. And I could be wrong in that assessment, but because I'm not saying she doesn't want to find him, but it's very evident that she's using that as a driving force for more than just finding him. So, and I like that. I like her determination. So that it was nice to see that group. It was a nice way to finally get back to them, because the first time we saw them, it was a very small dose, and the biggest thing that happened is when they got to the bus. Now, the more interesting stuff, Daryl and Beth, they seem to be developing what some might think is a relationship that's a little bit more than close friends or a brother and sister type. Now, if it happens, I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, technically, I think Beth, the character, is of age now. I think when they first met her in season 2, she might have been 16 or 17. Now in season 4, you got to assume that she's around at least 18, going on 19 or something like that. So she's of age technically. And you got to figure Daryl's character is no older than 25, 26, maybe closer to 30. But I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. So it's not out of complete craziness for them to hook up. Am I saying they're going to hook up? I don't think so, and now it looks less likely now that she's been kidnapped. But, you could see that he's warming up to her in a way that he hasn't warmed up to anybody. Maybe Carol being the closest, and even that, he's kind of like, he tries to shy away from that. But, I think we are seeing signs of the hunters. I really do. I think that there's a lot of little peaks here and little glimpses that the hunters are on the horizon. Now, I don't know if the group that Daryl ran into are them. I don't know that, but it's very possible. Now, what I'm wondering and what I would like somebody to tell me in the comments below is the first thing that came in my mind when that group saw Daryl was that was the same group that was in the house. So, and I got that feeling because there was a guy with that bandana. The guy that he was talking to looked like to me, I thought was the same guy sitting on the porch. So if anybody who might have already made that, connection, let me know in the comments below, because I won't have a chance to actually watch the episode from 2 weeks ago until probably a couple of days. So I'm sure by then somebody will go down there in the comments and let me know. But it looks a lot like them. Now, we didn't see Maggie or Michonne or Carl or Rick again, and we still haven't seen Tyrese and Carol. And obviously, based on the trailer, after the show, we're going to get with them next week, so that'll be a lot of fun to see where that's going. But it's incredible now because we have 14, 15, and we got 3 episodes left. And again, like I've been saying almost every week, they're all starting to slowly converge towards the sanctuary, and it's almost getting a little bit tense because is this place a real sanctuary? There's some people who think because the man that was killed on the train tracks when Tyrese tried to save them, because he seemed pretty genuine and trying to lead them in a certain direction towards the sanctuary, that it's a sure shot going to be a good thing. But I'm not 100% convinced of that. Now we have Daryl with this group that I don't, who knows what they're about. Beth has been kidnapped by God knows who. And we finally got Maggie, Bobby, and Sasha on the right track. Sasha and Bobby, will that little kiss go somewhere else beyond just a kiss? I don't know. It might be a good thing. It might be something they both need. Maybe it'll help him finally break his habits because he has something to, someone to care about him, someone someone else to think about other than himself. And for Sasha, it'll be good for her because it'll allow her to be vulnerable and go to someone when she needs it. So I thought it was a great episode. It was a really, really good pickup from last week. And considering it had Sasha, who I'm not a big fan of, the character herself, I think the actress is gorgeous and she's a beautiful actress, a wonderful actress. The character I'm not crazy about. And Bobby, considering we hardly know him, considering those two were in a great chunk of the episode, I thought it was phenomenal. It was great to get to know them on a different level and see where they've come from. So, but hey, good episode. We only got 3 left. A lot has happened. What's going on with Beth? Are those group of men hunters? Are the hunters on the horizon? A lot of stuff. And if you notice, when that car drove away, they had a purse. The same. I'm wondering if that's the same purse that he had taken. I'm not sure if Beth was holding it. I wasn't paying too much attention to her holding anything, but I did notice it was the same purse that he was collecting stuff in the prior episode. So, and then the back of the car had a little cross. So, very interesting stuff. We'll have to wait till next week to see what's going on with that. Anyway, guys, that's it for this review. Throw in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Please, someone let me know if that's the same group that was in the house where Rick was, because I have a feeling it somewhat looks familiar to me, but not 100%. And I won't be able to check out the episode for a couple of days to look back on that. So Someone let me know if that's the same people, because I think it is. Just have this real familiar feeling that's the same group. So that's it, guys. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.